Well, hi there, and welcome to Bella's Vistas. Thanks for visiting. Please like, subscribe, and of course come on back again real soon. This is a trip I've been planning for a while. Ever since I heard about this place, it's starting off. We got to be very careful. Winter driving a 95 E150 van, so you want to be real careful. I got brand new Michelins on there and brand new springs, so it's not too bad. We're getting on the ferry towards Amherst Island. Now this is a 5-day trip that we went on, camping out in the van. The guys are getting us set up on the ferry here. Now as I said, this video covers 5 days, and we didn't really get the best owls until the very end, so if you just want to see the owls, you can just fast forward to that. But if you want to come on and follow along with our adventure, and it was quite an adventure, we put up with a great deal of hardships to get these pictures, but it sure was fun. Now come on along. Now just up on the right here is a little parking lot, and we spent a couple nights hiding out in the van there trying to keep warm. This is the first day we got here. It's getting towards sunset. It was a little later than I would have liked to be, so we just took a tour around the island to sort of acclimatize ourselves to the location, see what's going on. Look at the tires on that truck. That'll get you through just about anything. Or like some guys have told me, it'll be just enough to get you into some real trouble. Now we're driving all around the circumference of the island. It's not a really huge island. We're going to drive everywhere we can and see what we can find. It's nice to watch the sun going down, but as that sun's going down, it's getting cold fast. I was quite surprised at how cold it really was, but anyway, that's another story. As I said, we're driving around the island. We're looking for a suitable place to park the van. We did find a place, like I showed you the parking spot before. Now it's not as warm and cozy in the van as you might think. I'm drying my socks out over the Mr. Buddy heater there. In the morning we wake up and our windows are all frozen. I've taken the blinds down already. Look at the frost all over. Well, the sun's coming up. Got the heater running. We're starting to defrost the window. Gonna go for a little drive around the island. Bella is still, she's not even begging for food yet. Or already. It's 7:30. All the windows in the van are just frosted right up. See what it's Bella's like. Water dish is frozen there. Our water bottles were frozen in the morning. It was so cold. Look at the frost on the map here. This shows you the island and the roads where we can travel. Headed down the road here a little bit. Sun's just coming up. It's too dark to take any pictures really. You can't shoot with long lenses in this kind of light. Well, you could if you were on a tripod and something wasn't moving, but that's not what we're after. Look at the shoreline here. Look how cold it is. I mean, wow. You can just see how cold it is. The ice is amazing. The ice on the water was just incredible to look at. Crystal clear in some places. Just stopping here, getting warm. Yeah, I'm going to park up here for an hour or so. We'll just stay here, rest up a little bit. It's kind of fun just driving around, but it's not inexpensive. So I'm looking around here. Okay, the sun's out a lot better. We're driving along, and you have to look on every branch, everywhere you're looking for where you might see an owl, because you just don't know where they're going to be. They could be anywhere pretty much. Driving along, looking at every tree, looking out over the waterfront to see what's there. I sort of thought maybe I might see an owl flying onto the island. I never did see that at all. Driving along again. Just back and forth, driving up and down the road, searching all the time, looking. You know, it's not easy to find anything. Here I'm hiking down towards the Owl Woods. Now I'm walking down there, and it is just so absolutely cold. By the time I got anywhere near the woods, my fingers were frozen to the point I wouldn't be able to use the camera. So I just came back, drove around again, changed my gloves for mitts, and but still, I didn't want to walk down there again. I just didn't have the nerve for it. Driving along here to see what we can find. It amazes me, you know, when it's 25 and 30 below, that there's animals that just live out there, and swans and geese in the water that don't seem to mind it at all. You know, it's unbelievable. They're better acclimatized to it than I am, that's for sure. Now look at here, look at these guys, these swans in the water. These are regular swans. There's a herd of, or a flock of tundra swans here too, which we managed to see flying. But I just look at them in the water there. Took a little break at the side of the road here. You can see that my barbecue gets a little use, you know, like some of the videos I watch, it looks like they just got the barbecue out of the store. But anyway, here we are, blasting down the road again. Farms on the right, farms on the left. I'm scanning every field. I'm not familiar with the owls. I don't know where we're going to see them. I don't know what kind of wildlife we might find, but just driving down the road and we see this little fox. What a little beauty. Just running around on top of the hay bales. Here's a thermal plant there. It's going full bore, I think. Lots of steam coming off. There's lots of horses and farm animals here as well. Some sheep and some cows and things. There's the cows here, just having their lunch or whatever. They're kind of dirty looking. I guess that's normal. They don't get to take a shower when it's winter time. Number 92. Now I see this. Look at this up in the tree. Now that's an owl for sure. So I stop the van and I get out so quietly, and it's a rotten part of the tree. I can't believe it. It looks so much like an owl. I can't believe it. Now I do see a raptor up on a branch here. As soon as I opened the door, he was off on the wing, and I just set my camera to see one, and I got a picture of that. And I see this one out in the field. But once again, and now with the cold air, there's waves in the air, and it affects the lenses, so you can't get a sharp focus sometimes. Sometimes there'll be snowflakes in the air too that cause problems. So between the snowflakes and the cold waves in the air, it can be a problem. And I saw this fella swooping overhead. It's bright and sunny here, so you can focus pretty well. There's a crow and a hawk. I don't understand it. Then I see this owl. I think this is the first owl that I saw on the island. I was so happy to see this guy. Short-eared owl up on top of a pole. It's towards sunset. Look at this. Wow, what a nice pair of owls. They're so beautiful and amazing to watch. They're far away and they're pretty small. When they fly by like this, you know, I felt I was lucky to get this. I wish it was brighter out. Here's one on a post and one flying past. Unbelievable. Now you're at low light, so you got a wide aperture and you don't have much of a shutter speed, and so anyway, I got what I got. I'm quite happy with it. I was just delighted to see these owls. Look at this guy up on a tree. I didn't see him land there, but he must bend that tree on the top when he lands on there. Such a beautiful owl. I love to see the little glint in their eyes. This guy's kind of giving me the look from the top of a hydro pole. Just beautiful to see these characters. I don't know how much an owl like this weighs or what their actual size is, but it amazes me that they can fly and that they can find enough food to live on. I love seeing them here. I would rather it was on a tree or a fence post than a hydro post, but what are you going to do? This looks pretty nice on this pole here. This guy's way off in the distance, and it's sunset, so I'm using a tripod for a lot of these, a really heavy tripod, and I'm down to like a 1/30th of a second. This fell up on a pole with the turbine behind him. Now we're off on another tour. I'm thinking this is first thing in the morning. This is the morning of the third day. We're just thawing out. I'm driving around. Got the windows are pretty much defrosted. The van's pretty warm, so it's livable. Looking out here at these poor fellas out there. It's kind of a gray day, so there's not a lot of color in anything. Zoom in a little bit so we can see what's going on. Now I'm wondering if these are the tundra swans. I honestly don't know. These are not the tundra swans. Amazing to watch them bobbing up and down on the water. I don't know how they don't freeze to death out there. I really don't, but it's something to see. They have special oil on their feathers and things. Now I'm driving along and we see this hay rake with the wind turbines in the background. Now I'm not getting any wildlife pictures, so I'm thinking, well, you know, I should shoot some calendar style stuff. I was a calendar photographer for Hallmark for a long time, for 10 or 15 years. So anyway, I'm stopping here and I set my camera for an HDR, which gives you 2 stops up and 2 stops down, and then we can merge them together in an HDR program and come up with something like this. I think it's beautiful. So we made a nice HDR image of this. Now we drive along and I see a snowy up on a pole. Drove past it a little bit and I'm walking out to try and get some shots of it. Mary's shooting a video of me in the mirror of the van, and there's the snowy up on the top of the pole. Now, shooting video through the window and everything, that's one thing, but when you get out there, here I am out there, I'm getting lined up on the bird, doing my best to get a good shot of it, and I can adjust the camera. I can come up with something like this. When I get the exposure right and the focus right on, the bird's nice and sharp. Look at the eyes on this little girl. Beautiful owls. Well, the sun's going down and we're driving around. Look at the beautiful color in the sky. I'm just loving this. Time just seemed to fly by. Well, looking back on it, when we were there, it was just so cold and bitter, you know, when I was trying to stay warm at night. It wasn't easy. I just have the Mr. Buddy heater in the van. I have a hooked up to a big tank. Driving along here, I see these lads here taking some pictures, so I stop. And one of the fellows came over and told me that I should park on the same side as everybody else, but interestingly enough, there was somebody parked where I parked, so anyway. Got some pictures here. I was disappointed that the owls were so far away, but that's just the way it is. Sunset, low light, taking the pictures. It's hard to focus on a little spot like that. I mean, the guy's off in the distance, but I got good focus. Surprising number of times my focus and exposures were right on. You can see the eyes there. Look at this. Look how cold that is. My goodness, good heavens. We're driving around here. I'm looking at the ice. See the sunlight coming through the ice and the sunset. Beautiful day. Look at this. There's the thermal plant. We had to drive into town and go to Walmart and get gas, so that's what we did. Filled up the tank. In the morning, I'm waking up at Walmart here. So we're waking up and thawing the van out, driving along again, seeing what we can see. Oh, and I did not get a shot of this guy. Mary got him on the video, but he got away on me. I was really disappointed. I like to get a picture of them taking off from the pole, but I did get a shot of this fella flying by. That was pretty nice. This is what I get a lot of times, you know, I stop as quietly as I can, get out of the van, but the birds, they know you're there and they're just gone in an instant. Once again, our little fox buddy here, Mary's shooting some video on the fox out the window. I'm just amazed that I'm seeing a fox again. One year I was tripping over foxes everywhere I went, and then I hadn't seen any foxes for a long time in spite of looking for them. Now I found 2 nice foxes here on farms. It was so nice to see them with some nice light on them too. Here's looking at us. It's a little lady fox, I think. Yeah, looking around, hunting in the woods. I don't know if they get mice in the snow, I think, because we're gonna see. Look at this, doing this little dance. I love to watch this. It's like cats at play, the way they jump up and down. So great to see a fox. What a little sweetheart. I love them. So pretty. There, I might have a mouse or a vole or something in there. I imagine the foxes keep the mice and rodents down quite a bit. They're sort of in competition for the mice and voles along with the owls, I think, but Imagine they've got it figured out that they don't step on each other's toes too much. Look at all the frostiness on this guy's face. Wow. I'm so happy I got these shots. Just a wonderful day. And you know, I'm here looking for owls, but you know, when I see a fox, I'll just enjoy photographing the fox. Little motion in this shot here. Sniffing around under the snow. Then I see these guys are going fishing. They've got some serious heavy weather clothes too, I tell you. Here's a little hawk in a tree I saw. I didn't get him flying away. I got pretty good focus on him in spite. They always seem to hide out with the branches all over them. Now he's taken off and I didn't have a chance to set my camera at a high enough speed to stop it. But anyway, we'll just do what we can do. Because when it's dark, you don't want a really high shutter speed because that just pushes your film speed way up. These are snow buntings. Now, you wouldn't think it'd be too hard to photograph them, but they were really nervous and they kept a super distance from me. It's a little dark-eyed junco here in the woods. Beauty. So pretty. They have their feathers all puffed out against the cold to keep them warm. Well, this is the trail down to the Owl Woods. Wind turbines on the right-hand side here. It's quite a long walk down here. It's nice to listen to the snow crunching under my feet, but still. The last time I did this walk, it took me 2.5 hours to get there and back. It's a beautiful day for it, so let's go. Well, this is where the path splits off. More wind turbines on the right here. And we split off and head towards the Owl Woods. I'm not sure if it's called the Owl Woods or the Owl Forest, but the sign's up ahead and we'll be finding out pretty soon where we are. It's my second time hiking around here. A couple days ago I went through. It's just a gorgeous day today. Beautiful light. Nice big tree on the right here. Path is not bad. It's a little bit this way and that way, but it's quite enjoyable. I've been spending a lot of time driving around here, and I'm just as happy to be walking instead of driving. Get the nice fresh air, and doesn't cost as much either. There's the sign up ahead of us. There's only a couple other people in here ahead of me. I followed the footsteps in, so. About Owl Woods. So it is Owl Woods. We'll just see here. See what we can hope to find. Well, I've seen a few snowies since I've been here. Some of these other owls I only dream of seeing. So there's the warning signs and the rules. So I guess we'll just take a hike around there and see what we can find. I didn't find any owls in the Owl Woods, but I did find this bird jumping. Blue jay, look at there, a nuthatch and a blue jay. I'll take those. And here's a mourning dove. Now you can see with the branches over its face, I still got focus on the eye. Well, I had my hike and I'm leaving. Some other people are coming in, they're going to feed the birds. So we're off around the island again, just looking for anything I can find. Some beautiful scenery here, a nice church, farm, tractor and a red barn. I like that. It's the kind of thing I like to get pictures of, local color. I'm having fun. This wall is like an Irish style wall. There's a sign with the name of it on. I don't remember what it is, and it talks about how they build these walls. There it is, the feeding wall, I guess. I'm not sure how you would pronounce that. Nelson Store and Weasel and Easel. I didn't see any weasels. Wow. Look at the water here, frozen. Ice is sort of blowing in. Chunks of ice. Just shooting this just for local color. Beautiful ice. Shows you how cold it is. When the ice is blue like that, you know it's really cold. It's like an iceberg almost, but it's pretty small. Here are the swans again, sitting out there. Look at them. These are regular swans. I think the tundra swans have a black beak and black feet, and I got a picture of them flying. I'm not a bird expert. I like photographing the owls, like wild birds, wildlife. I certainly love foxes. I've had good success with snapping turtles and mink and beaver. Trees make an interesting subject. Well, now what have we got here? I pulled up here and what do I see? There's the snowy up in the top of the tree. Now usually you see a snowy, it's on a telephone pole or something like that, but when they're in a tree I'm much happier with it. I got about as close as I figured I could safely here without terrifying it, and I got my shots. There it is up in the tree, and I'll zoom in a bit. There we are. Look at that eye. That bird definitely knows where I am. Look at there saying, Mike, what are you doing here? I'm having fun taking pictures. That's what I'm doing. I love the way they sort of sit in a few branches and cradled in there, but boom, off it went. It had enough of my antics and it flew away. So sad to see it go. This is an interesting thing I didn't know about the wind turbines, something to think about. Blades, I understand they can turn up to like 180 miles an hour. Here's a blackbird flying past the turbine. Little short-eared owl. Look at the waves in the air. See, that's what messes with your focus and the sharpness of your pictures, because it's almost like a mirage looking across there. Here we are again. I think this is in the morning. Sun's coming up. I'm enjoying watching the sunrise and watching these little critters swim across the horizon. So beautiful. I'm really liking it. I had a great time on the island here. I hope you're enjoying the drive around. Here are the tundra swans. Well, look at that. Wow. And I just caught a glimpse of them out of the corner of my eye and set my camera to photograph something like this. I have like 3 or 4 presets on the camera that I can just dial up. Then a chopper flew overhead. I don't know what that was about. Maybe a wildlife survey, or who knows, maybe just a helicopter tour of the island. Some more of my short-eared owls here. Shooting a video here, you can see the wind turbine in the background. Such fun being here. That's as close as I can get for video. Can't zoom in any more than that. Here we're on the ferry again. We had to go back in town. Once we had to go back to get gas, and the second time we just decided to go back and stay at the Walmart again, because we found a little bit warmer place to park. But it was cold. We were looking at minus 25 below zero, and even with the heater, Mr. Buddy heater running in the van, it's not very nice. I mean, it's an old Econoline van that's in a lot of cold air. It wasn't that bad. We managed it. You can see it just looks cold and gray out there, though, I think. And like I said, it was an awful lot of driving around and searching around for that sweet spot of an hour or hour and a half out of 5 days when I got pictures. Look at how cold it is. I mean, you can see the mist coming off the water there. You just know that it's brutally cold. And yeah, it was a hardship to put up with. But I didn't mind it all that much. It wasn't too bad at all. Got some geese flying by. They're pretty standard, but I mean, they're there, so they might as well be in the video as well. Now look at this. There I got one owl in focus, and you see two other owls. This shows you how hard they are to spot. How many owls are in that picture? 2, 3, maybe more. They hide behind the branches. Look at, there's a few owls in there. It's just wonderful. They're so adapted to blend into the background, so camouflaged. Look at that. Once you've seen a couple, then it's a little easier to spot them, but until you've spotted a couple in a tree, they're pretty invisible. Here he is sitting on a fence post. It's pretty far away. I mean, it's a lot further than I would have liked to have him. There's a few hidden in the bushes there too. See a couple on the right there hidden. And one guy out in front taking all the heat. I don't know why, but it's a beautiful day. Like I said, it's the golden hour, sun's going down. The owls are out there looking. Imagine they can see with a field backlit, they could see a mouse or a vole running across there, and they'll be able to catch them. Because they don't look like they're starving by any means. These are some pretty healthy owls, I think. So glad I got to get over here and see them. I highly recommend this trip. You know, if you're hardy and you can put up with it, or maybe you could stay in a hotel on the mainland and just take the ferry across every day. There wasn't even a coffee shop that I saw, so I make our own coffee in the van, and that's how we get by with that. Look at this bunch of owls here, just like bumps on a log. So beautiful. Really happy here. I'm just so excited when I'm photographing an owl or three like this. Look at these guys on this straw bale. It's like a round hay bale, and they're just sitting there. This guy on a fence post. These fence posts look almost as if they were made for a studio set or something for the owls. I'm pretty happy with it. This guy's just up on the top of this post here, getting a little higher perch to see things. Really a rustic situation. You know, I was hoping that I would get right close to an owl in a tree and maybe get a picture of it taking off and things like that. But I got a couple owls on the wing from a distance, and I got to see these owls. So this is what it's really like. I mean, this is the way it is, the way it was. Look at this short ear here on the pole. Really happy with that guy. Very exciting. You know, my hands were already frozen for this from photographing the white snowy owl, and when I got here I forgot all about my hands being so cold, and my thumb and forefinger froze pretty good. I was out shooting these pictures and I didn't even notice that how cold my hands were, but I noticed afterwards, that's for sure. It's getting better now. It's been a few days since I've been home, and getting my motion back in my fingers. But oh darn, this is what happens sometimes. You know, you're just not set for action. And look at here, our car's out in the middle of the water here. We're headed off the ferry. Now we're driving home, talking about our adventure, thinking about the owls that we photographed, thinking maybe it'd be nice to go back there when it's a little warm, or maybe in a month or so. Go back and see what we can find again, you know, because you always do better. Norm Palucki always told me you do better the second time you go somewhere. This is Mary's favorite shot. Thanks for visiting Bella's Vistas. Please like, subscribe, share the video with your friends, and of course, don't forget to come on back again real soon.